You're not listening to me. Does this sound familiar? One of the biggest causes of marital friction is the lack of or breakdown in communication. Communication can be superficial, for example, talking about the weather or about the logistics needed to run the household, or much deeper when we share what we truly think and feel in our hearts. Between spouses, we should ideally communicate at the deepest level, heart to heart. Communication can be divided into three parts: the one communicating, the message that is communicated, and the one receiving the message. On the part of the communicator, we need to be honest and gentle, and never brutal. Do not say things which implicate or blame our spouse for something negative. For example, "You're always saying things that hurts me," or "Why are you always so irritating?" Try not to start our sentence with a you, rather begin with the letter I. For example, "I feel hurt whenever I'm criticized in front of our kids. That is why I felt so hurt by what happened just now." We will immediately sense that the first example tends to accuse the other, while the second example conveys how we feel without immediately blaming our spouse. What about the message that is communicated? As far as possible, this should be clear, concise, and charitable. And the one who receives the message? Listen with our hearts, not just with our ears. This is where I suspect, if you're like me, we fail to listen to our spouse the way we should. Sure, the words spoken by our spouse are important, but more importantly, what are the feelings behind those words? Is there excitement, joy, sadness, hurt, anxiety? Do we endeavor to feel what our spouse feels? Or do we simply disregard the feelings and go into a problem-solving mode straight away? Or perhaps even immediately go on the defensive and start trying to justify our actions. For example, if our spouse says something like, "I do not wish to go out with you and the kids for dinner today," do not just take the words at face value and say something like, "Okay, if it suits you, fine, I'll do my own thing then." Instead, look at her tenderly. See if you can feel what she might be feeling at that point in time. Behind those words. What is she feeling behind those words as you look at her? Maybe she's waiting for you to ask further, or maybe not. A simple response that shows we care or empathize can go a long way. For example, "Okay, I'll support you in your decision. Would you like to share with me why? How do you think I can help?" And keep the question open. Do not assume you already know the answer. And more importantly, keep your heart open to her reply. It might be that she had a tough time with the kids that day and needs some rest, or something else happened at work or at home that made her feel she needs to spend a bit more time, perhaps sharing her feelings with you instead. Open our hearts to each other. Share deeply with one another. This is what it means to be a communion of persons, especially so in our sacrament of matrimony. Now, as we go deeper into this communion with our spouse, another virtue is very much needed: humility. Have I been humble enough to apologize if I've hurt my spouse in any way, even though I did not do it consciously? Conversely, am I humble enough to truly forgive my spouse when he or she apologizes to me? Oh yes, one more thing. Sometimes when emotions run high, it might be a more prudent decision to take some time out and pray and gather ourselves before we can approach a matter with our spouse in a calmer and gentler manner. Just say something like, "I'm so sorry, my dear. I'm not thinking straight right now. Can I have more time to ponder and pray about this, please?" And finally, have you ever wondered why we were born with one mouth and two ears? Yep, so that we can listen more than we should talk. Till we meet again, God bless you and your family always. Bye for now.